Hello, everybody, and welcome back into the Captain's Draft 3.0 presented by Dota Cinema and moonducktv. We are here with our last qualifier match of the entire tournament. It is Complexity Gaming versus Digital Chaos here in a North American barn burner with a few Europeans thrown in the mix, of course. Complexity having 3 Swedes, and of course, Digital Chaos now adding the new permanent member, well, hopefully, of Resolution, as of course they've gotten a new player in their squad, and he's played a couple of games with them under the alias House MD, but now using his real name as a stand-in here. Of course, I'm not alone today. My name is Martin. Joining me, of course, as always, is Pitmuckle as well as Purge. Kevin, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. Captain's Draft is really fun to cast. Suns fan was sick today, so you had to step in.
Right.
Which I am sure you're going to be more than capable of play-by-play casting. So
thanks,
happy to have you here.
Wow, thanks, dude. You know what? Really appreciate it. All right.
I mean, it's not hard to compete with Suns fan. Let's be real. He's real rusty.
Damn. All right. Well, I mean, yes, he is sick, so I will be stepping in today. And you know what I really love about Captain's Draft is, first of all the crazy heroes and picks that we see, which actually there's been a lot of normal picks in the last couple of days, but also the fact that the draft takes about like 5 minutes shorter than, of course, the regular Captain's Mode draft. So that makes me pretty happy. We get through the quick bans, and then all of a sudden the picks come flying left and right. Like, whoa, look at that hero. Whoa, look at that hero. Okay, we're done with the draft. Let's get going.
Yeah, it's definitely like that. Goes really fast. I like that too, Mont. I'm sorry, I was tweeting about the fact that we're streaming, and I wasn't paying attention.
Wow.
So that's on me.
Classic.
But I had a good reason, except for the fact that I should have done this like 4 minutes ago, have the tweet prepared and ready to go.
Listen, I haven't even tweeted yet, so you're way ahead of me, at least. I mean, I retweeted. JJ tweeted, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to retweet now. Like, I'm too lazy to actually tweet anything now. I'm just going to watch Scrubs and continue to chill out until the draft starts. So I'm glad that you actually put in the effort that I didn't.
Keep talking, Mott, still tweeting.
Okay, well, we're into the game. We're into the draft. Complexity will start off with a Gyrocopter in the Winter Wyvern as their first 2 picks. The Invoker will go for the Digital Chaos draft. And what else do we have in the pool here? Death Prophet, still a very good hero. Complexity can certainly pick that up. Zeus has been pretty strong recently. What else? AA is one of the best supports. Terrorblade's been picked a lot. Other than that, there's kind of some interesting picks here.
I'm mostly surprised to see Winter Wyvern grab so early, but there's not very many supports in this draft, actually. It's very weak on supports. Almost all of the interiors were actually cores. I wouldn't necessarily say that Lesh is OP. I still think he's a very strong hero, but for him to get banned is a bit weird. But I guess there's still Lion, Lich, AA.
Complexity love Shrek, whether it's played by Swindle in a core position or played by Hanskin in the support position. They did it yesterday twice. And they've done it a lot recently in Captain's Draft, or not Captain's Draft, in Canada Cup as well. Which, by the way, this is the second time Digital Chaos and Complexity Gaming will face off within the past couple of days, weeks, whatever. They played up against in the upper bracket in the Canada. God, I'm gonna freaking lose it every time. They played in the upper bracket of the Canada Cup tournament, and Digital Chaos actually got 2-1. So Complexity Gaming moved on, and they'll be up against Elite Wolves in the upper bracket. But Digital Chaos, they lost to Infamous in the lower bracket. However, they have their revenge now, not only for Canada Cup, but also for the Shanghai Major Qualifiers. This might be like our next big rivalry in America. We don't have a lot of those because a lot of teams keep, disbanding and doing whatever. But this seems to be the one that is gonna be here for a while, Purge.
Well, this rivalry is now 4 out of 10 Europeans, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
So
yeah.
Is this really the new NA rivalry?
I mean, it's the NA/EU rivalry. I don't know what else to call it. I mean, because it's a majority NA players, right? So that's the only thing that matters. 6 out of
slightly.
10. Yeah, like a 60%.
Pretty close, man.
Whatever. Listen, it's fine. We're gonna call it the NA rivalry. It's whatever. That's how I feel about it. Okay.
Okay, I do like both of the teams, though. They bring a lot of interesting things to the table. I think DC is looking really strong the last week or so. 2 weeks since I've been casting them a bit, so I'm happy to see them transition with Resolution here.
Yeah, they played well.
The Winter Wyvern pick, like I said, I thought it was a little bit out of place, but Digital Chaos instantly counter it with Ancient Apparition and Sand King, which is 2 heavy magic damage dealing heroes. And whoever does get Cold Embrace is going to get hit by that Ice Blast in a lot of cases. And now they have the setup for the Ice Blast. So you usually need a stun with that hero to guarantee that you can do the A ult combo. So Sand King can easily provide that. Set up for the Ancient Apparition. There's going to be Sunstrike as well. I love the DC draft so far. We'll see how it transitions into the mid game though, because now they have to deal with Zeus damage. They grab a Luna for a carry, which Yawar played very well the other day, and with the Trio Protector, the Luna's going to be a lot more survivable than normal.
By the way, good point talking about roles and what UR is going to play, and UR is going to transition to the carry role. I believe I'm 95% sure that's the case. And Resolution will play mid. That seems to be what the DC players want to do. Someone was asking me when we were talking about it. I think AUI. Someone said that AY could play carry, but he'd just much rather play support. It might have actually been you. Somebody said that. I can't remember. Who it was.
I believe it was Shannon. But...
Okay. Yeah, that's right. You're right about that.
Yeah, because I haven't talked to AUI about the team or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I think support is definitely a place where a lot of players. I mean, there are a handful of dedicated support players, but there's not a lot of them that have been playing for a long time.
Right.
And I wouldn't say there's a lot of support players that have like insane success at doing it. Not saying that there's bad support players as currently exist, but I feel like there is more need for supports than there are for cores.
Especially in NA, I think. Like you have two support players. You have AUI and you have PPD, and like everybody else is trying to become that next support player.
Yeah. Besides
those two, I guess you could call like 1437 and Fog like the next group of support players that are really good. But other than that, I can't really think of many. So I definitely agree with you there. So the fact that AUI wants to stay in support, no surprise. I mean, he won a TI, for God's sakes, playing the support role, so he clearly is more comfortable with that. So the switch, the transition for UR to carry has also been really strong. They played against Infamous, and he was the carry in that particular in Canada Cup. He was the carry in that particular best of 3. They did lose, but the first game they absolutely decimated. And in fact, the other 2 games they played pretty well, but they didn't come out on top. So we'll see if this is going to be. I think this is going to be what we're going to be seeing for a long time. You are in the safe lane, Resolution in the mid lane, and then everyone else staying in the positions that they've been in.
I just really like how he does that. Very obvious ward placement there by Swindle. It's very weird that he walked in Vision of AOI and then placed that. I guess he just didn't quite see him coming, but they easily see where the ward is placed. And 1437 is going to shift over here, and he's going to get a free level 1.5. Like, really big D ward there. We'll see what goes to. It is a huge amount of experience, and they are going to give it to UR here. And they're going to walk away from it. That way he gets full experience. It's actually a really big deal in the early game. Yeah. The experience is a bigger component than the gold for sure. He can hit an instant level 2 and have Lucent Beam or Lunar Blessing. It's basically like you got a bounty rune, really.
Right.
And the level is definitely more important than the gold, with the exception of in the mid lane.
And especially when you're in a tri lane where you're pretty starved for experience, you know, if you have 3 heroes in the lane, obviously one hero is usually pulling, the other is maybe harassing. You can roam around, but I think getting experience in a tri lane is very important. Meanwhile, the bounty runes will be picked up by Olymp as well as Resolution on the input.
So Bulba's actually playing an offlane Sand King, not a very good hero for offlane, due to the fact that Sandstorm at level 1, it's a 40-second cooldown. So if they do spot or stun you while you're in there, then you don't really have a whole lot of survivability. So against good players, it's not going to work out so well. On the bright side, he can Sandstorm dodge Gale. That might be something that can be really beneficial. If you go invisible, you do not get hit by that. So that helps out a lot.
Yeah, and also we should keep in mind that with the caustic finale change, like this patch and a couple patches ago, it's still actually an okay spell to pick up. Maybe not in this instance, but you can jungle with it. You can hit an Iron Talon as well if you'd like. We'll see if that's going to be the case. Obviously, Sandstorm's better. Down bottom, it will be an aggro dual end for complexity. The brothers Swindles and Z-Freak will get caught out. There's going to be the Leech Seed as well as the Lucid Beam coming out. They wanted to be aggressive early here. Can they get this kill? It's a lot of damage. Last right click will do the job, and you will get first blood already. He even goes for the Lucid Beam at level 1, which is pretty uncommon, I think, for a Luna, but they get the kill nonetheless.
They really needed that stun duration to get AUI within range to land the Leech Seed. Once the Leech Seed is landed, it's a pretty much guaranteed kill, only because the Chilling Touch does so much damage. It looked like the Nyx Assassin was going to live, but
top lane, Sentine got galed up, and Chessie was actually trying to go for that kill, but he couldn't quite find it, and Bobo will be able to get back to his side of the river, and he'll be okay. He's actually very close to level 2, getting that Sandstorm here in a moment, but I don't know. Like, the dual lane obviously is still very strong, but if they had another hero up here, there'd be an easy kill on Bulba, no problem. So I'm kind of concerned that they are having a dual lane instead of an aggressive or defensive tri lane, rather.
Well, they definitely want to focus on trying to get Nyx Assassin some levels, because he's a hero that also can get shut out pretty hard. He's got a lot of regen on his hero, especially with the Stout Shield, but if he doesn't hit a fast level 6, he can't pressure very well, and I feel like Invoker's going to do pretty darn good against the Zeus as he gets a couple more levels.
Resolution currently with 8 last hits. Of course, he has a little bit of ping issue, but that's not that bad. Z-Freak can get hit with the Sunstrike. Doesn't actually do that much damage, but he's still getting chased down by AY. Looking for that Leech Seed. He's got boots. They do not want to dive underneath that tier 1 tower. They could have maybe gotten that kill, but the rotations coming in from the rest of complexity might be too much for them.
I don't know. AUI was standing on the rune, and he could have maybe chased and gone for the Leech Seed, but instead he opted to sit by the rune. But they had AA there as well. I feel like that was a slight mistake from AUI, or he just said like, oh, we're not going to kill him. There's no point for me to chase and leech seed. I'm just going to sit here by the ruin, guarantee I get the bounty, and then transition. So that seemed like there was maybe a little potential to harass. I don't think they would have gotten the kill, but they maybe could have tried. Oh, the couriers.
The courier can't quite find it. Well, getting zoned out is swindled by AUI 2000. Leech seed is about to go. The Impale will come through instead. Top lane, Bulb is getting chased down again. It seems like you can't find any safe haven here between Chesty and, of course, Hanskin roaming and looking for a Gale and a good Rocket Barrage. He's going to go ahead and try to TP out. He actually might make it. He will. It's a nice TP. TP's all the way back home instead of going for that Tier 1 tower. Z-Freak, in the meantime, puts up a nice Observer Ward here to get them some vision over that Tier 1 tower in that top lane. Meanwhile, Resolution going toe-to-toe with Limp. He's starting to zone him out. Meanwhile, last hit-wise, compLexity are doing a pretty good job, but they still have lost that first blood, and that means that DC are having a better time down in this bottom lane.
Yeah, Resolution's doing a really good job of playing super aggressive. He's staying on the other side of the hill because he knows that Zeus can't trade last hits with, or trade attacks with him as well, because Zeus's damage is lower and his range is lower. So he just sits on the other side of the map whenever applicable and tries to zone him.
Winnow about to get caught, and Pale comes through. He's going to take a lot of damage. AUI 2000 pops Leech Seed, though. He'll heal up as well with the Living Armor. Sunstrike about to fly. It'll hit as well. Beautifully done from Resolution, getting that kill with the Sunstrike. Set up perfectly by the Leech Seed from AUI 2000. That'll be 2 kills going the way of Digital Chaos now.
It just really shows that Treant is very good at zoning survivable offlaners because of the fact that Leech Seed is now lower mana at 80 mana. He casts this like 3 times with his mana pool. And because, you know, he hits so hard, he hits for 88 damage, so Stout Shield actually does very little against Treant Protector. In some ways, even buying an armor piece might be better when you're trading there. So Treant Protector stays alive, he trades effectively, and they keep getting kills on Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, that's huge. So Swindle's not having the best time currently. He's level 3 looking at Bulba. He's also 3, but he has a jungle to go back to. He's got a stack up here, and he's just got a Sandstorm with level 3 Sandstorm. And that'll provide him maybe Arcanes, maybe an early Blink Dagger a little bit later on down the road. And also somebody that can juggle is Treant Protector. We've seen this over the last couple of games. He picks up the Iron Talon Purge, and AUI's going to head into the jungle here and do what he does best and get effective farm across the map.
Yeah, it's a really good way to make up for the fact that Treant Protector doesn't have a farm system. Normally he'll do it by getting a Midas, but this is a much earlier way to do that, while also allowing you to hide in trees and stuff if you're setting up kills or you don't want to use your invis. So he's also going to rotate the offlane right now to get experience. This is another really good thing that you can do as a support that needs a lot of levels, is when your offlane goes to the jungle, you go to the offlane to sap experience if the wave does get pushed in situations like this.
He does have this creep camp to use if he wants to, just instead of going for the last hits in the lane, he can do that. Looking at the Gyrocopter, though, he's done a pretty great job. He's one last hit ahead of the Luna right now. Meanwhile, Swindle going to get caught. Bulba's going to come in with the Burrow Strike, but Swindle's going to get caught. The Impale will fly through. They need one more right click, and they can't quite get it done. Lucid Beam will fly, and that will get the kill for Digital Chaos. It's a bit harder than maybe they wanted it to be, but they get the kill nonetheless, and Bulba gets involved as well, which is pretty important.
Yeah, that was the Ice Vortex from 1437 given Vision. If it wasn't for that Vortex, they wouldn't have gotten that kill. Yeah. Great stun from Swindle there on 2 heroes, guaranteed, almost guaranteed his survival, but just a little bit of bonus damage there. And kind of a cool strat that I haven't seen before is AA plus Luna, because now when you Eclipse, it's going to do way more damage if you've got Ice Vortexes in the same area. So something we don't normally see. I would love to see something like an Ags Luna, but I doubt they'll go that build. Probably going to go standard BKB, especially against a Zeus and a Veno and a Nyx Assassin. BKB is absolutely a necessity.
Ags Refresher. You know, if this was Mason, I'd say that's definitely a possibility. I've seen Mason actually do that build before, but of course he's not standing in for Digital Chaos anymore, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Ags part is very good. The Refresher is maybe a bit of overkill because it means your hero does nothing else.
Dude, he's gone Radiance on that hero before, so he could do whatever he wants. Yeah, he's nuts.
Yeah, that sounds a little weird.
Agreed. Alright, what do we got going on? Top lane, Chesty's up to 41 last hits. He hasn't been involved in the kills that Uar has, so net worth-wise, Uar should be ahead, and he is, in fact, by about good 500 net worth here or so. So, pretty good start for Uar here. That could change quickly. We'll see if he goes for the early Helm of the Dom pickup. He's gotten all of his early gate items with the Aquila, with the Treads, with the Wand, as well as just he's got a Mango saved up as well.
AOI in trouble. He looks pretty dead.
Yeah, he's going to get caught. There's going to be the call down coming in. He'll Living Armor himself, but to no avail. He will go down to Hanskin, and finally the first kill for compLexity is on the board. Meanwhile, Z-Freak and Limp are here mid lane, but there was a ward that was just awarded, so Resolution knows something's going on. But there is a backstab coming in from Swindle Mountains. We'll see if he can find anything. Not level 6 just yet, but with 3 heroes around mid, Resolution is in trouble. Arctic Burn will fly. He'll pop up his Force Spirit. He's in trouble. Lightning Bolt will go, and they finally pick up another big kill for compLexity as Resolution will fall.
That was a really good gank by them. Very well executed. Putting pressure from the front, but also having somebody in the back to catch up and get the very reliable stun when he's not anticipating heroes from being that direction. So they don't see the stun coming. Really easy pick up there, and nice advantage going to complexity. The Nyx is going to consistently be strong against the Invoker due to the mana drain.
He's almost 6 now too, so Swindle can start roaming around with his Vendetta and find a couple of kills. They pinged out where Swindle is. They know that he's here. Bulba is going to skitter after him as Swindle skitters away. Two bugs crossing paths, but not actually colliding. Meanwhile, mid lane Resolution is going to go back to farming. He actually will lose a bit of time on that Midas that he will inevitably get at some point in time, but at least slow down. Meanwhile, they will pincer maneuver on Swindle. The Sunstrike is going to fly, will hit. The Spike Carapace will go. The Cold Snap will go as well, and a Great Impale might keep him alive. The uphill miss will go as well. He's going to hide in the tree line. They ping him. They know that he's there. Yuar's going to walk right in. He's going to loose beam him here in a moment. They will ping him out. Almost got away scot-free, but he salves up and then dies as well. As Yuar will find the kill and get him up towards that 1,000 gold mark.
And Swindles is still, he keeps landing some really clutch stuns here that almost keeps him alive. Observer on the high ground is going to spot out AY, and he's being chased. First bolt misses, but there was a regen on Zeus, it looks like, so.
Living armor by Zeus ult. There it is. Yeah.
He could have lived there, actually, if he popped his 2-stick wand. He probably didn't. I don't know. It's a very small moment of time, but if he would have wanded, the living armor would have kept him alive there. But you don't always anticipate the ulti as that fast. So.
Swindle getting Burrow Strike. There's about to be a Lucid Beam. Nope, actually he's on cooldown. Misses the Impale this time around. No Burrow Strike. Lucid Beam will finally fly, and Yuar gets yet another kill. So Swindle just keeps back in the lane, and that was just not great.
That was a lot of damage from Lucent Beam. It did about 270 instead of the 225 that it do normally. So the Ice Vortex, again, doing a lot of damage to amp up their damage against Nyx Assassin.
Forgetting about Ice Vortex. I'm like, wow, that Lucent Beam did a lot of damage. Not sure what happened there. And I'm like, oh, wait, there's an Ancient Apparition in this game.
It's a big amp. It's going to be great with Sand King. All of their heroes are going to really benefit from it. You could do a Yule's combo and Invoker, put an Ice Vortex on there, and boom, doing extra damage to those heroes.
I mean, if somebody gets Yules'd up, they're usually dead anyways, but now they're just instantly perma-dead pretty much from that Ice Vortex on the ground after the Yule's combo.
Yeah, definitely. It's something they really have to be concerned about. Now, on the other side of complexity, the supports are doing quite well. Venomancer's up to level 5. He went Treads. I'm not a huge fan of the Treads build. I kind of like Tranquil's Veil a little bit better. I feel like it gives a bit more on what Veno needs, but Treads is also very good just because you need a mana pool in the early game for sure, and this provides you some while also giving you survivability.
I know it's only 5 movement speed, but Arcane Boots give you decent movement speed as well, and I've seen it before. Like, it's an okay build, I feel like, especially because you can go mech. Maybe not as much as people used to go mech on this hero. First of all, I'm not a huge fan of Venomancer in the first place. I actually think this hero is really not great right now. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess his poison is amazing, but
Venomancer is really good if Gale works correctly. If you're against like I don't know, an Oracle that can remove it, or like a Legion Commander or something like that, then it sucks to play Veno. But if Gale is effective and they don't have a good solution, like if you can basically permanently slow somebody for like 5 or 6 seconds in a team fight, that's game winning. Like, you can keep them in position. So against a lot of heroes, it's great.
Resolution in trouble. There's the Living Armor. The Splinter Blast will fly as well. He's going to go ahead and queue up the Ghost Walk with the Invoke, but now they're going to TP in as well. There's the Burrow Strike coming through. Swindle's got the Spike Carapace. He'll get it off just in time. Ice Blast going to sail in. The trail will hit him. Yuar will get the kill with his right click, and that will provide him his Helm of the Dominator.
Yeah, Resolution did that well. Just a little bit of body blocking with the Forge Spirit, and that guarantees the kill. Played it safe. He even queued up Ghost Walk, but very little threat of him actually dying there.
Yeah, I mean, they wanted to hit him with the Vendetta, but instead they just went for the Impale, which is pretty common, but without that Vendetta hit, it's going to be hard to kill him. And they weren't really in position to grab it either with the rest of their heroes. Meanwhile, top lane's going to get pushed, but the Living Armor will come fast and furiously. AUI does not have his Overgrowth, but he does have the Leech Sheet. He's got his Dangerous Guys ready up and ready to go, but instead of defending this, it looks like they're going to give this tower up, at least for now.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll be able to defend it. He does Living Armor with a Glyph. That's going to give it a lot of extra survivability, but I think it will die. They're not rotating to defend this either. Even Z-Freak's in position to cut around. It's going to be bad for AUI here.
Yeah, AUI might be in trouble. He's going to get Call Down on, and he's dead, it looks like. Call Down will hit. They have the Sentry. They pop the Dust as well. A lot of items used for that kill, but still they get it nonetheless, and Limp will actually secure it with the Zeus ult when he wasn't even there. It's a pretty nice play coming up from complexity. Well done.
I mean, you're right. They did use a lot of items. That was a Sentry and a Dust, so 190 gold to get that kill. It's kind of a lot, considering they only got 319 from the kill. Now, they did obviously get experience as well, and ultimately it's going to be worth it, but you know, it's not the worst thing in the world for the least farmed hero on DC to end up feeding to death like that.
Yeah. But this is going to give more gold to Chessie, who is still top in net worth. Not by much, mind you. You can see how close you are, Limp and the rest of the crew are. But he does have Phase, Aquila 1, and the Helm of the Dominator of his own. And late game, Gyrocopter versus Luna is a very interesting matchup. One that we used to see all the time.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how this goes, Purge. What do you think about late game between these two heroes?
Yeah, it just kind of depends on initiations, really, because both heroes very often will buy BKBs, and both heroes do large components magical, so... Ooh, they got a kill on Zeus. Okay, that's the blink reveal here for Sand King. Doesn't have any epicenter, just initiated with the Burrow Strike, Sandstorm, and the follow-up with Sunstrike.
Bottom lane, you might get in trouble here. They missed the Impale, and now he should live. He's going to get Living Armored up as well. That would have maybe been a kill had they got there with that Impale, but maybe a little bit of a misstep there for Swindle. And I want to talk about, by the way, you mentioned this during, I think, the draft. There's a Sand King now with a Blink Dagger. He jumps in, stuns, and guess what follows up right thereafter? It's the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast coming through. So that was what provided them the kill.
And Sunstrike. So basically, if they do an AA Ice Blast on a hero that Bulba is nearby, all that has to happen is they have to set up the AA ulti and be accurate, and then they have to have a Burrow Strike hit that person, and they're going to die almost every single time with Sunstrike, Ice Blast, and a Burrow Strike, Sandstorm. Like, it's a huge gank potential that DC has in their lineup here. compLexity doesn't have the same gank options. They basically have to, I don't know, either do Zeus ult or Zeus ult plus 2 heroes ganking. Usually it's going to be Nyx Assassin plus a second hero. So they have to use a lot more resources to get ganks off, and that means that compLexity is going to find less opportunities, and DC should be able to find more easily.
Yeah, but they are forming a little bit better because guess what? They did block this Ancient stack here with the Sentry. There's an Observer Ward on the high ground as well. And on the other side, this was maybe a triple or quadruple stack coming out for compLexity. And Chessie was able to clear that up without any real issues. He's up to 1,000 gold now. Maybe the start is either... he already has his Blade of Alacrity, so I guess that answers that question. Looks like he's going to be going for at least a Yasha right now.
Big blocks, though, on the Ancient camp, and that's going to limit the farming for the Luna a bit. She may notice this later, and they can go D-ward this.
Uh-oh. Swindle got caught. Ice Vortex came through. They dropped the Sentry. But here's Z-Freak. Sunstrike will fly, but it will miss. And now look at that stun on it, too. The call down the Zeus ult. Great 5-man. Well, actually, 4-man gank coming out from compLexity. And Swindle kind of baited that pretty well.
And that was a double kill for Zeus, and he got the mega kill streak. There was 5 kills on Luna a moment ago, but now she's finally dead. So really big win there for compLexity, getting that kill. A little bit of a rotation. They were playing very safe for a while there, but eventually they got baited in by the kill.
Resolution pushing mid, however, Z-Freak's coming through looking for a Winner's Curse.
Oh,
he's not in
he
range
almost
anymore.
ulted that.
Yeah, he used his R button, but he actually had to cancel the animation. I know what he wanted to go for, but unfortunately couldn't find it. Sand King will come up to the high ground here, maybe looking for a kill of their own, set up on something like Limp or Z-Freak. If they could find anything. Meanwhile, bottom lane, this tier 1 tower is going to get pushed, and Hanskin will do the job with level 4 Plague.
Oh, there's the Burrow Strike.
There's the Burrow Strike, Sunstrike, and the Deafening Blast comes through.
So
and
easy.
is obliterated by Resolution.
Yeah. There's nothing he can do to that, honestly. Like, how do you stop a Blink Burrow Strike? Like, the A ulti, maybe you can have a Sentry down, you can see the icon on the map, and you can see that coming, but that's such a hard gank to stop, and that's not going to stop anytime soon. And at some point, it's going to be Yules. He's got the Yules now in Invoker. Yeah. That could be like even a Sand King Burrow Strike into some Invoker spells. He doesn't even necessarily have to use Yules first.
Yeah. Now they will grab this tier 1 tower, at least try to. The Splinter Blast will fly. They have the ultimate coming out from Z-Freak. He actually doesn't have the mana for it. He uses his mana from the Soul Ring for the Splinter Blast, and so they'll lose that tier 1 tower. Another thing we haven't talked about is also the Alacrity on Luna. When we do hit the late game, the amount of damage that you can pump out with the Alacrity on Luna is absolutely absurd. So
that's a good point. When you're already amplifying it by Moonglaive, then the damage amplification is going to be even higher. He does have to deal with things like Spiked Carapace, and the Zeus damage as a whole is going to be really hard for Luna to deal with. But if Yor keeps playing well like he has been, then his farm will continue to go up, and he'll have some solutions against that.
Ooh, good Spike Carapace. Swindle actually avoids the Sunstrike. The
what a
stun. Will proc, but the Impale will help him stay alive for a moment. But still, even with the great 3-man stun, he still goes down. And on top of that, they get smoked underneath his ward here at that hard camp towards the Ancient stack. So they should have known that was coming, but Swindle was actually in a really bad position. They just rotated right around the corner, and they found themselves a kill. And pretty big start here. And it looks like DC are going to try to turn this into maybe a tier 1 tower.
I think they have a good chance of doing that. I mean, Yoar's in kind of a dangerous position right now, but with the Nyx Assassin dead, he can probably push maybe one more creep wave before feeling like going back.
They're going to defend this. They're going to try to anyway. compLexity has everybody alive now. I don't know if you're DC. They're looking to try to find an epicenter here with Bulba. No vision of the jungle. He's going to find the Burrow Strike. There's going to be the AA ult as well as the Sunstrike. He is dead. Overgrowth onto 3. They also get the Deafening Blast onto 2. The Meatball will fly through as well. And they need to not fight this compLexity. And they're kind of low, but they want to chase after 1437. They want to find something here, and 1437 might be the martyr for the cause. Looks like he will go down to the homing missile. They are chasing after him. Chessie will find himself another kill with this, it looks like. He's got a TP, but he will not be able to get it off. The rocket barrage will fly, and the homing missile will get the job done for Chessie.
Maybe he should have attempted a high ground TP, but he was probably dead no matter what there. I don't know, I kind of feel like as soon as he got living armored on the top of the cliff here, maybe he should have TP'd, because that could have tanked a lot of the rocket barrage, but it didn't happen. AY might die here.
And Pale will come out. He does have the living armor on him, but he should go down to something. Nature's guys, they have detection. They'll drop down the sentry, and it looks like the last right click will not go. Meanwhile, Sand King finds Hanskin and Chessie down to the bottom lane. The Sandstorm about to go. They'll lose the beam. We'll get the job done. They'll lose the SK, but you are very happy with that trade. He'll back away from that tier 1 tower, and they still keep AUI 2000 alive somehow.
Dude, they just keep killing Venomancer here. Like, he's just not staying alive to the magic burst, which is not surprising, man. You can't stop that amount of magic damage, and even having a Helm of Iron Will and Power Treads, that's not enough to take the physical, but mostly magical combo that they're putting out.
Resolution finds a free kill, essentially, onto Z-Freak. Winter Wyvern, he'll head back home and try to build up to his BKB, and he's quite close to it as well.
Gank coming top now. There's a... Oh, I'm sorry, that's the sentry. Oh, he has an invis, okay.
Ice Blast coming through. Yuara's going to find the Lucent Beam. That is a dead Nyx Assassin. One more right click and he'll be in shadow range. He'll just go down to the cold feet, it looks like. And in 1437 will pick up the kill, and Yuara will get the assist gold.
And a bit of an interesting skill build on Luna. He opted for the Max Lunar Blessing before going for the Glaives. But I guess for mid-game team fights, this is probably a lot stronger to help your team right-click harder. Especially when you have things like an Invoker and even an AA, just right-click damage is a big improvement.
Swindle has not had a good game. 8 deaths to his name currently, and that's just not great for a Nyx
Wow,
Assassin.
I didn't realize it was so high. I mean, I know he's died quite a few times. He died a lot in lane, but his stunts have been really good all game.
Yeah.
But he does just keep getting killed. He's been the focus of DC, and it's definitely given them some good gold.
Like, can you imagine how this game would go if maybe he died half the amount of times that he has this game so far?
Yeah, I'm sure that would help, but it is still a very hard game for him. That tri-lane was not a good situation for him to be in. Like, any Luna tri-lane has so much advantage going for it for the supports hitting a tanky offlaner, you know?
Defend this. Boba comes in, Burrow strikes, Uso will fly, they get the vision. Now the Sunstrike will hit out from the Onskin, but he actually gets it, I think, split. They're looking for an overgrowth. Boba will fall. Good call down to make sure they aren't able to chase Meanwhile, Splinter Blast. AUI 2000 still in a lot of trouble. Will actually have to initiate guys himself on the backside. There's Swindle finally resolution. This fight is not going well for Digital Chaos. They'll lose 2 heroes and the big one at that. They might lose a third to AUI 2000. Yuara is still pushing top lane. Not a great defense, and compLexity finally get a good fight going the way. Plus the tier 1 tower, they're going to keep pushing in to this tier 2. They have to TP somebody back to defend the tier 2 tower. Yuara will walk right away. He doesn't have a TP scroll. He'll get one from the side shop here momentarily, but compLexity find a great fight going their way.
Yeah, but I think it was more of a DC mistake, though. When they initiate, they have to kill whoever they go on. They used Ice Blast for it. They burrowed the Sand King, and the Sand King got galed afterwards. If you initiate like that, you have to kill that guy. I don't remember seeing if there was a Sunstrike or not, but if you're going in, you have to burst that guy down. Sunstrike missed, apparently. Okay.
It was split up between 2 heroes, I believe.
I would guess either Resolution wasn't watching or Sunstrike was off cooldown for that initiation. And Boba also didn't use Epicenter, which he maybe could have used. Because once they killed the Veno, the fight's a little bit more straightforward. But if somebody gets Gale Ban, you are committed to a fight.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to deal with a fight in that case. So DC makes a little bit of a mistake, they lose a tower, and they're going to lose some advantage from that.
I'm not sure if they should have taken that fight at the tier 1 tower. They had to TP everybody in and get ready, and the tower was already getting assaulted. It was a tough defense, I think, but Ice Blast is going to come through mid lane, but there's a good amount of vision here coming out on the Radiant or Dire side. They have this Observer Orb, which I think scouted out 1437 as he sent that Ice Blast down bottom. So they have some pretty good vision for compLexity here, both in the mid lane and in the bottom lane as well, towards the jungle. They have this Observer Orb.
I actually love these wards from compLexity. They're on very atypical places, so you're not going to necessarily expect them. They're immediately around where your opponent's towers are, so pretty much if their opponents leave the base, they're going to see them leaving the base. There's actually no way that they get out of their base right now without being spotted, unless they use an invis or a smoke. It's the only way.
Yeah, that's pretty tough, and it's not like they're going to deal with these. We'll see if that's going to be the case, but I doubt it. And Resolution is close to his BKB, and they might want to fight a little bit harder with that. They could also wait for the BKB for the Luna, who has his Yasha, and might get the BKB next. As 3200, could buy his full med style if he wants to, but we'll wait and see. The next items are going to be coming soon. AY 2000 has the headdress for what I think inevitably will be maybe a mech. Pipe could be good because of who they're up against, but they're going to try to find Hanskin. They've got Blink Burrow. They're about to be in range here, but he's going to get back towards the tier 3 tower. It's going to go around and head towards the jungle. This should be a dead battle as they use Epicenter for this kill. And they will find it almost immediately. Hell, they get off the poison over. They have to TP home immediately because they got the veil off. And they will make it out. Soon, if he got there a moment sooner, would have found himself maybe a kill or two with his Impale.
Yeah, it's a hard kill to defend yourself against, basically. It just comes out and blows you up there. And they also don't necessarily know that there's a ward there because there was a Treant as well, so he may have just found him in the jungle and followed him. So we'll see if they go for a D ward. They may or may not find something, though.
I don't know. We'll see. Noir has 4,000 gold. He's going to buy something. He has enough for a full BKB. Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
Yasha into BKB is the very common build. Sometimes you'll get Manta first, but I doubt that was going to be the case this game, and will he pick up the BKB? So that answers that question.
There's just no way that he can fight this complexity lineup without a BKB. If he gets Galed, if he gets Vano ultied, then things are just really bad. If 2 or 3 heroes of complexity just charge after Luna, DC can't really slow that down or stop it. Yeah, they've got Burrow Strike and Ice Blast and stuff, but that's mostly only damage, so they would need a lot more to deal with that.
1437 will place a sentry down in the common ward spot. He'll miss both of them with these sentries, and so complexity will continue to have that ward up. They were about to chase him down, but unfortunately that was not going to be the case. They drop the sentry, and they're going to go ahead and smoke on top of it. They seem to know this is happening. They're going to ping Roche out and say, well, we could go there, or we could try to find a kill.
I don't think they saw it, actually. They smoked where their sentry is in that jungle, and that their ward didn't spot the vision over there. I mean, they're not seeing any heroes defending the towers, but I don't necessarily think they saw the smoke happening. So.
They should know, I mean, because of the amount of vision they have, even if they didn't see the smoke, you can see in the lanes where people are.
Oh, they saw the illusion and they went on it.
That sucks. Well, they're going to have Roche now, but Z-Freak immediately is going to pop that, and he's just going to say, hey, what's up, guys? They're going to back out now.
There's no way they take the Roche now. They really needed to get a kill with that, and they just didn't have good ward vision in their jungle, so they didn't see the movement of complexity. They put a lot of sentries down, but these great observer wards from complexity were so aggressive that they just thought that they would be another shell out. They put sentries at almost every common ward spot. They've got to feel completely confused. They're like, we put down 5 or 6 sentries in our jungle, and we can't find any wards. It's got to be the worst feeling, man.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, they could have had a gem at this point instead of using all the sentries, but they've committed. AUI is going to, I think, spot them out here in the jungle. He has an observer ward here. He's got the overgrowth at the ready. They don't have a gem on them. Jesse might get caught with the overgrowth here. Yeah, he will. Can they bring him down? Burrow Strike, that'll be on Delimp. There's going to be the Sunstrike as well. They blow up the Zeus. See you later. And now they can maybe go for Roche here as they've taken a kill.
Yeah, that's what they've been waiting to do this whole time, basically, is find a hero, blow him up, get the kill. So Dead Zeus is pretty bad for complexity, but just with 1 kill, I don't think they'll feel comfortable going for this, because there's still a tier 1 tower up. With the tier 1 tower up on the Dire side, that means if anybody dies during the Roche fight, they can buy back and TP close to the area. They don't have the same advantage with the tier 1 mid tower, but it's clear that if a Roche fight happens and buybacks are involved, that complexity has a big advantage there.
They're going to make sure that that's not an issue with the tier 1 tower and take it out now. Of course, the tier 2 tower is really what you want in this bottom lane, but we'll see if that's the case. Splinter Blast will fly through and try to deal with this creep wave. The tower will fall nonetheless, and they might keep pushing here. They've got their BKBs. They have some of their big items ready to go. Almost a force for Bulba. I think it's flying out now, actually. We'll see if they commit to this fight.
They're de-warding the high ground. There's no ward there. That means they can probably take a fight here and it'll be fairly reasonable, but it's not super safe for the Radiant team to push here because there's so many ways that the Dire team can get behind them.
And so they're actually going to head out and defend top tier 2 tower.
Makes sense. It's just too dangerous. Like, they got a kill, they got a tier 1 tower, they got advantage there. They don't need to push their luck anymore and force a potentially bad team fight. If their opponents initiate first with like a Nyx Assassin stun on 2 or 3 heroes with Zeus ult, like the fight is just over in a lot of cases, because then it's going to be followed up with a Gale or a Winter's Curse, and then they don't get their spells off. They need to be the initiators, otherwise they're going to lose the fights.
I like this smoke coming after complexity. They did D-ward, so they should know something's happening. Sunstrike will go just to make sure the pit's empty. But now with that down, complexity might be able to head into the pit themselves. Instead, they've drawn a line. They say, we want to go up to the high ground here and find a kill, and Swindle will be their first one, but they pinged him out. They can see him through that vendetta.
They saw AUI. AUI's in trouble.
Bulba's going to jump in. Swindle's about to fall. AUI getting caught out, however. He's got the overgrowth. He'll pop it off. Great Winter's Curse out of Digital Chaos. UR is low. They've got to leave now. He's going to pop up the Eclipse, and they're going to go to work here, but Chessie will pop his own BKB, and UR will fall. The Epicenter will fly to him. Can they still take this fight? Limp might fall. The Yules will come out. He'll stay alive. Zeusot will go. They get 4. Complexity turning this game around, turning this fight around, and the only survivor is 1437. What a great engagement coming out from Complexity, and what a great Winter's Curse coming out from Z-Freak. Absolutely outstanding.
It absolutely won them the fight there because, like, the Nyx Assassin died very rapidly. I didn't catch the initiation on that. But with the Winter's Curse, what I'm sure is what happened is the Luna lost all of her HP, so even if it didn't kill her, it prevented her from being able to pop Eclipse, run in, and do a lot of damage. Not to mention there was a Manta style oops, could be dangerous.
Let's see.
Good
Ice
eye.
Blast
Good
is
ice
there.
blast.
They can maybe try to go in with this if they could get some heroes, but AUI 2000 is going to get, I think, scouted out by
They
this
definitely see him, yeah. They see him approaching.
I don't know.
Have any damage, though.
Everybody's low here, and Roche is not falling as quick as they would
Oh,
like.
he might die to
Hanson's about to
Bashes.
die here. He's about to get, he will get cold embraced up. It was close. They need to get some heroes in this pit, but it's too late now. If they had been alive, they would have been able to take this team fight. They would have been able to take this Roche. They still might be able to, but they will have to lose the Aegis because of it. Walking up the high ground, Swindle will be there. They have no detection. He's looking for an Impale. He's going to find it onto Bulba. Now they have to go on him instead. The least she will go. And looks like Swindle might actually just give his life so that they can take Roshan. Bulba's going to go with the Burrow Strike, the Ice Blast, the Sunstrike, the Fly, and that'll be an easy kill for them. So they won't quite get that team fight they were looking for, but they find a kill at least.
Yeah, the overall team fight was very, very bad for DC, but getting one kill there is going to help a bit. But man, that fight was just so well done by compLexity. They spread out DC, they didn't let them focus one person, even though they did see Nick's assassin die at the start, but that's the value of DC's draft. They got to kill somebody at the start, and then take a normal team fight. But they were too spread out. compLexity got to go first, and they didn't kill any super important heroes. They just got an offlaner that's more for setting things up.
So DC have to be very aware of the next time they get a Winter's Curse off. That Winter's Curse is going to be devastating if DC have that same situation they had in that first team fight. So Yuar will take his Ancient Stack now. He's still not doing particularly poorly. He is 2,000 behind the Gyrocopter now, as he's got the Aegis, he's got the BKB, Meta Style, and the Helm of the Dom, and he's actually got 2,000 gold as well. But this game is still going to be interesting if Yuar can get that farm up in resolution as well. It's going to, I think, scale pretty damn well into the late game, too.
Yeah, especially because his ability to solo kill is amazing right now. He's got BKB, Blink, and Aeol Scepter. That means if there's a hero that's solo somewhere and he's kind of close to them, he can show up and blow them up. And next item he'll grab is probably Boots of Travel, and then finish it up with either an armor item or maybe like an Axe for overall HP and spellcasting ability.
We'll wait and see. On the other side, how's Limp doing? We haven't really checked on him this game. He's got Eul's Aether Lens, which is an amazing item on that hero. He picked up bots himself, and he's got a Blink Dagger. He could use an Octarine or something along those lines, maybe a Bloodstone for his use. But he's getting pretty close to being up in that 6 slot. Well, maybe not 6 slot, but he's close to help himself.
The Zeus item build is a bit interesting now. It's not really large items. It's all these mid-tier items that are also very good for the hero. He needs the Euls very heavily this game because it stops the chain of initiation that goes down when DC initiates. So if he gets a moment to use Euls, it can buy him time. Like, he would have died in the last fight, but he Euls himself. And then it allowed him to get a kill on resolution as a result. The Euls is absolutely worth it. And Aether Lens also really needed because it's a damage amp, which is something Zeus loves, and the extra range on Lightning Bolt. And Arc Lightning means he's not as out of position when he's casting his spells.
compLexity will go for the smoke gank. They won't find anybody. They came close to maybe finding Yuar, but he was already done with that Aegis stack on the high ground. He'll now just go with his team. And they're going to try to maybe split push and not fight into this Aegis for Digital Chaos, and I could completely understand that. Of late game items, Hanskin is getting close to an Axe, and with a Veil already on top of that, if you take a team fight and you get off your Ags, Poison Nova with Veil on top of it, on like 3-ish heroes, maybe even more than that, you're in a very good spot. Like, that team fight is going to go very well for yourself.
Yeah, and this is probably one reason why you went Treads. He's already got mana or HP regen from Veil of Discord, so he opts for that over the Veil. So I guess this build kind of makes a little bit more sense in a lot of ways than the Tranquil one does. So kind of a cool build, but either way, Veil Ags absolutely standard Venom build right at the moment, and makes him a decent support hero.
Ice Blast is going to come through on a Chessie. Aegis reclaimed in 2 minutes. They see it flying in, but I think the Plague Ward, and then they'll be able to back up and get you to just take this tier 2 tower. But the tier 3 tower,
Oh, David Gem, they're gonna spot next.
Nick's assassin's going to get caught. The Sunstrike will fly. Doesn't get the Spike Carapace Sauce. It goes down to the Leech Sheet of AUI 2000 and Bulba's right click. Here comes Z-Freak looking for maybe a Winter's Curse. The Glimmer Cape was about to go, or about to fade, and they actually had the Zeus ult. I think the animation went, but they weren't able to find a pickup with that Winter's Curse.
And True Protector does have a mech finish. Probably he will go Guardian Greaves afterwards. Maybe. I don't know if he needs to. This game, there isn't really a whole lot of things to debuff from himself, so maybe he'll pass it up.
Go for the Ags.
I don't think you can remove Gale. I feel like that would be... But maybe you can. I think you can remove it with like Dark Pact and things like that, so maybe you can. But that does remove hard disables, obviously. We'll see. I think it might just be better for him to even try working on something like a pipe, perhaps. If they get a pipe, it's going to help a lot against compLexity's damage sources.
Yeah, I was saying that earlier. I agree with you completely. I think pipe would be a great option. I don't know if they want to spend the money to build into that, though. We'll wait and see. I mean, late game, absolutely. Meanwhile, Chessie is going to get spotted out by 1437, or vice versa, I should say. As 1437 will go down to the Zeus ult. Actually getting the kill is Chessie, and it's right-click and Rocket Barrage. So he just finds himself in a really bad spot and gets a solo kill by Gyrocopter.
It's pretty solid. In the meantime, compLexity is split pushing the other side of the map to create pressure on DC. And with the Plague Wards, they have a very good ability. And the Winter Wyvern, the Plague Wards, the Zeus, they have really good split push potential without putting themselves in danger.
Right now, Chessie is the one that is doing all the work here currently for compLexity. They're starting to lose that vision advantage they had earlier because of this gem, like you talked about for the Sand King. Agate Scepter is going to be next for Volva, so that Burrow Strike is going to be pretty nice to have also. Resolution is going to have his Ag since he's got the full point booster now. It looks like he's going to buy it up and sells TP Scroll, and that's going to be the case. And they're really just, they do not want to fight with this Age of Something. They just lost it, and the Tier 2 tower is getting pushed. We'll see if Digital Chaos want to go ahead and defend this. I'm not sure if they can with the positioning that they're in.
Alright, Resolution goes straight for the Ags before the Boots of Travel, which is ultimately a better item build for early game team fighting. If he goes BOT, yeah, he runs faster, and he can maybe set up ganks across the map, but I think team fights are really the important thing. DC wins a fight, they can get completely in the advantage here, whereas if they lose the next fight or two, the game is kind of over. It's kind of the way for both teams, actually. I think compLexity's ability to split push and defend is a little bit better, but DC needs to not get Raxed here. It's really important.
Yeah, well, they're going to try to put pressure on that Tier 2 tower mid lane and maybe even top Tier 3 with the creep wave coming in soon. It looks like compLexity will back together, make that call and say, I don't think we want to try to fight just yet. They did have a good Observer Ward on the high ground, but Bull will go ahead and counter that up with his Gem of True Sight, and they'll sit back into the base.
It's really hard to go high ground against AA plus Invoker and even like Sand King, Ancient Empress. Like, what do you do? If you go high ground and you don't pop your BKB in time, the fight's kind of just over. One hero dies. And with the Vortex on top of that, the magic damage is even more punishing. So because compLexity, I mean, they do have a Glimmer Cape. That's one solution to some of the damage amp, but it only does a small piece of it. If AA's there and he's amping damage by 25% and you Glimmer for 45, it's making a difference, but it's not going to be everything.
All right, well, lanes keep continuing to get pushed out. There's, what, 3.3k for the Luna, who will, I'm sure, go for something like a Butterfly next. You don't usually get the Satanic until you have that Butterfly and extra damage and attack speed.
Yeah, we'll see. The problem with Butterfly is it's actually just not very good this game because of how much magic damage there is. I just don't see Butterfly being the right option. If I was to say an item that... If I was looking at any other hero, I would say Scotty is for sure the item. You've got Manta, you've got Lifesteal, you want HP, you want to also increase your overall damage. Scotty's the item for that. So I really feel like Scotty over Butterfly is the better option. Zeus is going to die in the top lane to a gank.
Yeah.
There was a Sand King, Invoker, and a Treant Protector gank.
Yeah. They're going to try to get out as Swindle's on the hunt. Duration of Vendetta is so damn long that they actually might find this kill. He's got Blink up at 5. There's the call down. The Impale will come through. They need a Living Armor on him. He's dead. He's going to pop the BKB. Maybe won't go down.
Ooh, nice.
And they will get off that beautiful Ghost Walk, and he'll be able to blink away and head towards the base at maximum move speed with Wex.
Yeah, and he can always just heals himself, so this missile will not kill him. Okay, that was really dangerous to me. Okay, it was a level 4 homing missile. He was okay. But I was scared, man. I was like, why wouldn't you just heal yourself? Maybe he isn't... no, Zeus is dead. Honestly. Maybe he was anticipating the Zeus buyback into Zeus ulti.
Yeah.
And he was saving his... But if he gets stunned by the missile, then he can't react to it. I don't know.
AY2000 will die in the top lane, and conversely down bottom, they'll lose Hanskin. So a gank on both sides of the map. AUI stayed a little bit longer up that top lane. There was a gem up on Z-Freak, so he knew he was going to die, so he popped up LHC to try to get out as best as possible. Unfortunately, wasn't able to do so. Still, that is a better turn of events for DC than it is for compLexity. They picked up 2 kills instead of just 1. Really important.
He is going Butterfly after all. Picks up the Eagle Song. I mean, I guess if you're magic immune, this isn't a big deal. The Butterfly will be better if you're magic immune than a Scotty would be, but I'm a little hesitant about this. It will massively increase his damage much more than Scotty will, though. It gives
there
you
is
60
an MKB,
damage
by
and
the way,
60
for Chessie.
attack.
That's the biggest problem. There's an MKB already on the Gyro
Okay. I mean, I don't see it as a bad thing that he's making Butterfly either way. Like, if you don't really buy... I feel like you don't buy Butterfly and Luna because you're worried about... It's not just about evading. It's also about massively increasing your attack speed. Yeah. Like, and then that means more glaives and all that good stuff. But with that said, the Butterfly actually increases your illusion damage by pretty much the same as Scotty does. It gives you 30 agility, I believe. Let me just double check that. Yeah, 30 agility, whereas Scotty gives 25. So it does give them evasion, though. And that's the important thing, is that the illusions are going to be a lot harder to deal with. And it's going to cost compLexity a lot of spells that they normally wouldn't have to cast.
Okay.
This is another option. You get 40 agility from Ethereal Blade, making your illusions better than either option. You don't have to worry about the evasion thing. And if you find a solo here, you can just blow them up. Cast Ethereal Blade on them and ulti, and they're going to die. So it's kind of a cool build. It gives you plus 10 to all stats. I kind of like this. It's not a horrible damage item. and it still synergizes well with Manta.
I love this item choice right now. That's fantastic. Partly because we never see it. I think it's great for all the reasons you just mentioned, and it's because you don't really need a butterfly like you talked about. I mean, you're still getting plenty of agility, plenty of attack speed because of it.
It's also a 400 damage nuke, and it synergizes with Lucent Beam, by the way.
Yeah.
So you don't have to hard commit. You can just Ethereal Blade every 20 seconds and Lucent Beam afterwards, and you're gonna do like 800 magic damage. It's kind of like turning your Luna.
It synergizes with their team fight as well because they have so much magic damage that if you Ethereal Blade somebody, they're gonna die almost certainly.
Yeah,
like,
really.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, right, it's actually a really smart build this game. Now that we've talked about it fully, it's really cool. They're gonna go on the Mrs. Gale.
Oh, they're going to find another. That's going to be Swindle. Ice Blast will fly, and he's actually going to go down. Resolution will get the kill on Hanskin. They do pop the ultimate. They're trying to fight this 3 versus 5. I'm not sure that's the case. They'll pop the mech. They should back up.
Well, I don't know why they're running. I think they should fight this. Zeus ulti's down, and there's only 2 other heroes left.
Yeah, they could have gone back in on that.
They could have gone Winter Wyvern ulti, but DC's playing really safe this game.
It's
clear based on that.
I'm not sure who got hit on the Poison Nova.
He did not hit a lot of people. His Gale missed as well. So even if he Poison Novas, it's going to do damage, but not everything. There's BKB heroes and stuff. Like DC, I think if they weren't in an elimination match, they would have been aggressive right there. Zeus ulti down, 2 dead heroes, only 3 left over. They can win that fight. But they played safe.
And the important thing is if they want to fight too, they could have just gone right into Rosh because guess what? It's respawn. They have it ready to go. So that's another positive that could have came from that team fight. However, that's not the case. They'll pick up almost a pipe here for AUI 2000. He's got the Hooded Defiance. So
that's really good for them.
Closer, and that is a huge item choice for them.
It's even really great just for him to have, because now if he's trying to set up an Overgrowth and his opponents have a gem, he could just Hooded Defiance himself. Gives him 325 block. That's so massive.
That's huge.
And he's going to find a Zeus.
Yeah, he's going to go for the Overgrowth, I think. Nature's guys will go, and he's going to get up Leech Seed first. Perhaps we'll see. There's the Leech Seed, and the Overgrowth will fall shortly thereafter. He's actually
just can't let him blink.
Yeah, and they'll get the Yules off. The Meatball will go through. He's in trouble. There's the Bro Strike coming in perfectly timed, and Limp is absolutely done so. And Resolution will find the kill for himself.
Huge kill there. More gold for Geo Protector. Gets a little closer to the pipe. The enemy core on compLexity is dead, and now DC again can do whatever they want on the map. You are Micah ganked. Now he's going to live.
About to get caught out. So besides that, like one huge winner's curse, we have not seen that ability since that point in time. And since then, they had about a 2,000, almost 3,000 net worth advantage, and now gone back in favor of DC by about 1,000. That's like when you lose a team fight that bad. Hold that thought. Down bottom, there's going to be the Sunstrike coming. The Yules combo. Hanskin is going to get caught out. The Ice Blast will sail through just to get this kill. The Veil will come out. He almost got off the Poison Nova, but he died beforehand. The BKB was used for Invoker, I believe, just to make sure he avoided that. Meanwhile, they're going to go again. They're going to try to find Chessie. This could be a huge kill. He's got BKB. They're going to back away. That was not the core they wanted. They have no Overgrowth for 18 seconds. They will not be able to find that pick off. That could have been gigantic, but it's better they backed away from that because that's a lot of damage and a big hero to try to go up against.
And again, they could definitely push, but they're playing it super safe. They want kills and kills and kills.
They smoke here. I think that would be the best idea, but they don't have one.
So next question is, what does UR buy for his last item?
Satanic.
Well, I guess he has 2 items. He can build Satanic +1, but
Ags.
Ags is what JJ says. It's actually not a terrible idea. It's there's only
good.
1 BKB on the enemy team. He's already got E-Blades, so the damage amp of Ags is going to be even better. Like, if they just fight until Gyro BKB's down and then they ulti, Gyro's just 100% dead. You can't survive through that.
Yeah, I was laughing because I'm actually, it might be what they pick up, and I'm actually super excited if that's going to be the case.
Well, he can also very much justify a Scotty. He can very much justify a Butterfly at this stage. Ags is an option. Looks like he will go Satanic first. So with the Satanic purchase, that makes me think that his 6th item is definitely going to be damage-based, because otherwise there's not... You're getting if you get an item like Ags, it only increases your damage and attack speed by 10. So having Satanic plus Ags doesn't sound good.
MKB maybe. Oh god, Limp, don't die again, buddy. He gets hexed up, and he's gonna fall just as it respawns.
Damn. They set up for that one. They said, okay, Zeus is he's respawning, he's gonna go farm top, and they set up for that, and they got the kill.
Ooh, they're gonna send the Ogre Frost Mage into the Roche pit, and they did not see Chessie. He was invis, or rather smoked in there. This is kind of sketchy. DC don't have everybody together just yet. Boba as well as Resolution are coming towards mid. They're going to go for the pincer maneuver. They're about to break the smoke of deceit. Oh, Resolution, he attacks. He's in trouble. There's going to be the jump in. Oh, he blinks away. He avoids the impale. Beautifully done from Resolution.
For once, the DC EU server pays off.
Yeah, wow.
I actually don't know if it's on EU or not for this game, but I assume that he's still not in America.
He's not. Where is he? I'm trying to find him in this this list of things.
I do believe he's Russian.
Yeah. I can't find his ping, so whatever. I'll deal with it later. But they're going to go for Roshan, Satanic, and they're going to take this down extraordinarily fast. Yes. Okay. Fair enough. And then they're going to send some of the illusions in here. They're going to die just as quickly. The Alacrity will go again for resolution, hopefully. And yeah, there they go. And this is going to die. And it looks like compLexity have just resigned themselves to actually being able to defend this. But they're going to find Z-Freak. Sunstrike Epicenter will go just to get that kill. He's dead for 60. He has buyback. But this should turn into a tier 2 tower for Digital Chaos.
Yeah. And they also got their gem. So now there's a gem on the Trim Protector as well as the Sand King. And that's part of the reason that these ganks have been successful. Because by the time DC did pick up their gem, it was at a point where they had a pretty good map control and gank potential. It all comes down to their draft. Their draft had so many good abilities to get solo kills, basically. Or not necessarily solo kills, but contribute everybody to a kill there.
And Pale will fly. You will take the mana burn as well, so it'll take a bit of damage, but it'll continue
that bounce damage. Look at that.
Yes, he's going to get hexed up. There's going to be the
burst
strike. Deafening Blast. He's going to fall. No buyback. And they will get that Warder's Curse off of UR, but it's just him. The Eclipse is going to town, and the Hanskin. The Tornado will head him up as well. They've got the Lucid Beam at the ready. Sunstrike will fly Hanskin. See you later. UR will pop the Satanic. Swindle will fall. And now compLexity. It's all unraveling for them. And it is GG instantly after that. It was an extraordinarily close game up until that point. You can look at how the gold graph swings immediately upwards. What a play from DC, Purge.
That was a sexy game from DC. I loved the draft. They made it work. All of their heroes fit together nicely. They had a great laning stage. Yeah, they got ganked a couple times, and maybe a few of their fights fell a little short. But almost all of their executions were amazing. I love their itemization. They're thinking a little bit outside the box with the E-Blade. Even though it didn't really do that much this game, it made a ton of sense on paper, and a lot more sense than getting a Butterfly, just because of the stats that it gave you overall. So I think they played great. I think the compLexity draft was also very solid, but they just couldn't set up ganks as well. It took forever for Swindles to get a Blink Dagger due to how many deaths he had. I think he did a great job regardless of that fact. But compLexity just couldn't really force a fight, and they never really felt comfortable doing that either. They didn't have the control options. Their only stun was Nyx Assassin stun, so how to take a fight if their opponents have BKBs. It's just a little bit too hard for them.
Resolution's first official game for Digital Chaos ends with him going 13-3-8, 643 GPM, and an absolutely outstanding barn burner that we saw between both these teams, compLexity and Digital Chaos. And guess what? We've got even more coming up here in just a moment. This is just game number 1 of the last round of the qualifiers for the Captain's Draft 3.0 presented by Dota Cinema as well as moonducktv. So we're going to head into game number 2 real quick. And before we get underway, it's going to be, of course, myself with Purge as well as PitMuckle. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at moonducktv, at PitMuckle, at PurgeGamers, and at MontDota. We'll see you guys for game number 2. Stick around.